Zerglin.
Hi guys, welcome to Movie Siege. Disaster films are sometimes hard to come by due to their rarity in cinema, and oftentimes, disaster films tend to share similarities. Most times, disaster films are based on natural disasters like tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, among others. However, other times, disaster films with unique premises rise to the top. And although these films tend to bend the rules of reality, they are always entertaining to watch and keep people on the edge of their seats. Within the last decade, there have been some really special disaster films that are genre standouts. We hope you will enjoy the following. Please let us know your favorite in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to never miss a good movie again. So let's not waste any time and begin. Number 5. The Wave. The Wave is a 2015 Norwegian disaster film, directed by Roar Uthaug. The Wave is a Norwegian disaster film, but this one focuses on a giant wave that overcomes a small town. Christian, a geologist, is preparing to move with his family. During his last day on the job, he discovers something peculiar about the mountain sensors. Following this, while his wife is finishing up her job, a realization hits Christian, and he attempts to warn his co-workers of the potential dangers. Despite these warnings, disaster ensues through the form of a tidal wave that devastates the town. Christian is then left to rescue his family and survive. This film explores the impact and traumatic aftermath of the tidal wave. Number 4. The Quake. The Quake is a 2018 Norwegian disaster film, directed by John Andreas Andersen. It is the sequel to The Wave. The Quake, which follows the same family that survived its predecessor. However, The Quake begins on a much more somber note. The father and lead, Christian, is back, but he is incredibly traumatized. In The Quake, Christian is stuck in another catastrophe caused by a massive earthquake, and like in the first film, Christian goes to rescue his family, this time from a falling building. Unlike the first film, this one feels more disastrous for the family as opposed for the entirety of the town. This is because The Quake has a much more heart-wrenching end, but sometimes disaster films need to show real-world stakes. Number 3. Into the Storm. Into the Storm is a 2014 American found-footage disaster film, directed by Stephen Quale, written by John Swetnam. Into the Storm is a disaster film told through a documentary-type lens. It follows multiple characters, which include storm chasers, students, and a principal, all of whom are recording either for storm-chasing purposes or school interviews. Throughout the film, tornadoes are constantly appearing, threatening the main cast of characters and placing them in danger. Its documentary style is what makes it a rather interesting disaster film, as it puts the audience in the shoes of the characters. Number 2. The Tunnel. The Tunnel is a 2019 Norwegian disaster thriller film, directed by Pally. The Tunnel is another Norwegian film, taking place during Christmas time and inside a tunnel. As a father and daughter fight over past grief, the daughter leaves and goes on a bus heading to Oslo. While the bus passes through a tunnel, another vehicle, a tow truck, crashes along one side of the tunnel, causing massive damage. This leads to a large explosion in the tunnel, which traps everyone inside. The Tunnel proves itself to be a unique take on the disaster film genre, providing its audience with new terrors and anxieties about a tunnel that they would have never had before. It evokes fresh ideas on how disaster could occur. Number 1. The Impossible. The Impossible is a 2012 English-language Spanish disaster drama film, directed by J.A. Bayona and written by Sergio G. Sanchez. While most disaster movies are fictional and based on hypothetical scenarios, The Impossible is based on a true story surrounding a family who went on vacation. Unlike most disaster films, The Impossible starts immediately with the disaster. A giant tsunami hits the resort where the family is. While they are relaxing, a giant wave arrives, and everything succumbs to water. In this movie, it's a matter of survival for this family. Most disaster movies barely hold an ounce of realism, as they are typically dramatized to seem more disastrous. However, rather than focusing on the disaster itself, The Impossible focuses on the reunion of the family and the trauma they experienced. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.